I've been going to this church for 55 years, but this last year, I went through a lot of changes and a lot of physical challenges and really found a love in my church and for my church that I had kind of lost.
When Trey got sick, he was diagnosed with leukemia back in 2018. He was 6 years old, and from the very beginning, our church family gathered around us. We got phone calls and let us know that people were praying for us.
I will say, one thing that's always stood out to me with this church is that no matter how small it may seem on the outside to other people, love abounds in this church through friendship, the community. When new people come, they're so lovingly bombarded with friendly faces, people who genuinely care, not for superficial reasons, but because this church loves people and loves the Lord. So we're thankful for that.
It wasn't awfully long after I moved here that my sister passed away, and there was a long kind of protracted time before her death where we kind of were keeping vigil, and it ended up being several weeks, and I never heard a word of complaint or where are they from the church, even though we were several states away. And then that turned into a funeral, 2 funerals that we had to be at. And so I'm just very thankful for the way the church loved us through that. And the next year I had some surgery, and that involved me being away for, again, several weeks, and the church just loved us through that.
Krista got a kidney stone, and it was the middle of the night. And the kids were small. I think it was just
Elam was only 4 months old. I had a 4-month-old baby.
And so it was the middle of the night, so I can't take her, and we didn't want to wake up the kids in the middle of the night. And so, we called our friends, and Jonathan Leslie, not only one, picked up in the middle of the night, which is amazing. I don't know if I would have even heard it. But then Leslie drove over in the middle of the night to stay with our kids so we could get Krista to the hospital. And because at the time we didn't know that it was a kidney stone. I just knew my wife was screaming in an incredible pain. And just being able to rely on your friends and your church family. And that it was just, to me, one of the greatest kind of acts of love is for both Jonathan and Leslie to be like, yeah, go, and don't worry about it. We've got it. That was pretty special.
I was in the hospital with COVID and sepsis. Nearly left this world because of that one. When I did come home, I was home for 3 weeks. A lot of my ensemble buddies texted me, called me. Mike was a constant, checking on me, bringing me food through other people here at the church.
So when my husband died on September 1st, 2014, and we had been married 67 years and raised 5 children, and were very much in love even when he died. So I was grieving, and that Christmas season I was down, of course, and on a week or so before Christmas, I'm not sure the time, but I heard singing in the front of my house. And I went to the front door and opened it, and it was Christmas carolers. And so I stepped out on the porch, and there were a group of them, and they just blessed my heart so much that I was even able to sing with them, which I had not been doing much before that. So I sang Christmas carols with them, and it was such a touching time in my life. And I do believe that was one of the reasons that I'm here at College Park Church of God, because I saw the outreach of the people. And I had been worshiping at a church for 33 years, my husband and I, but my children kept saying, Mom, there's so many churches right near you. You're 2/10 of a mile from College Park. And so that's what prompted me to come here. And I've enjoyed it ever since. Like I said, I'm very close to it. And I love the pastors. and I've just been blessed while I'm here.
Several times over the years, my mother would ask me, Lance, do you know why we always need a church? We need a church for marrying our young and burying our dead. And you know, I've thought a lot about that over the years, and yeah, it's true. We do need a church for marrying our young and burying our dead, but I'd like to make one modification to it, and there's just so much life that happens in between those two events, from your children being born and raising them as teenagers, and all of the toils, all the highs and lows, and being able to share that with others, all of the life events, both big and small. It sure is nice to have a church family who can share those experiences with you and bless you, and you can bless them. It's nothing like it.